Dorothy Garning with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, and I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout featuring Vicki Boutin's Fernwood Collection. It's a collection I've been playing a lot with lately. I absolutely love it. And in this video, I'm also going to share a few tips on how to step up a simple page design just to bring it to the next level. Also, if you're tuning in on March 25th to 27th, 2022, there is an online crop happening at the Scrapbook Nerd Friends Group Facebook page. There are prizes, challenges, and tons of inspiration. So head on over. I will put a link to that group below. Here are the supplies I've selected for today's layout, and mostly it's from the Fernwood collection, aside from the white and black cardstock. So I'm going for a monochromatic color scheme here with pops of white and black. And here are the tools. I have dies and stamps from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and all of these products, paper and tools, came from the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, so I will link up the shop as well as the products I use in the description box below. So let's get started. And on my desk, I do have a frame style foundation with 3 sheets of paper, and I gutted 2 of them. There is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, so that will be listed below as well. I'm showing you that I matted 3 of the 4 photos in black cardstock. That's the paper that I gutted from behind the foundation page. Here are the other papers I've selected, all from the Fernwood collection. I did pull in a few other things. I have this 6x8 paper pad from Simple Stories. One side's wood grain, flip side lined paper. Those alphas are from Heidi Swap, and that sticker book is from Tim Holtz. I don't end up using that, but it's on my desk. And I have this tray, which comes from Dollarama, by the way, that is full of embellishments, mostly from the Fernwood collection. And here's my basket of tools. I'll be digging into that later on as well. Chester has popped by to say hello to all of you. The first thing I'm going to do is start cutting into these papers to create the layers that are going to go on top of my foundation page. And I will put measurements for these page parts on the screen a little bit later on. What I'm doing here is starting by creating a vertical page design where 3 photos are lined up in a vertical line on a large strip of paper. It's a classic page design, super simple. It doesn't get much simpler than that. But what I'm doing is adding more layers to it. So it's one way to step up this simple page design. So essentially, I cut myself out 4 more layers in 2 different prints, but every one of them are in different sizes, and that's what you see me placing on the page right now. Sorry I'm off screen a bit, but it does get better a little bit later on. And again, I'll be putting measurements on the screen a little bit later on. Before doing that, however, I am applying ink to the edges of all of these papers. This is a very distressed collection. I'm not a person who uses a lot of ink, but I do like to add ink to layers when I have a lot of paper layers on a layout. So now I'm just giving you a visual of the pieces of paper that I cut. So here are the measurements as well. And you can see that they are all different sizes. So now what I'm going to do is once again place them on the page and give you an idea how I plan to set this up. So you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but those black and white striped ones, those actually do not go the full 12 inches down the page. Those are a bit shorter, and you can see they're kind of layered up. And in a minute, you'll see when I push up the page a bit, you can see the different layers at the bottom because the other layers are underneath that black and white striped paper that doesn't quite go down to the full length of the page. Now what I'm going to do is further step up these paper layers by adding large format die cuts. And I'm going to show you a few dies that I love, starting with this large Viewmaster. This is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. I don't know if you saw a minute ago, but there are tons of dies with this collection. I'm going to be only using this one here, and I often use it to add layers to a design, just what I'm doing here today. So I'm cutting it out in black cardstock, and I'm going to continue cutting, and then you'll see what I'll be doing with these large format die cut pieces. I'm going to be taking another die set here. This is another Elizabeth Craft Design die set. It is from her Planner Essentials series. The first thing I'm going to cut out, it's like a Polaroid frame. So I'm going to run this through here. This die set comes with a planner page, but also accessories, including this Polaroid frame here. And you may notice there are all these little rectangles. Those are words. And what you do is you place them in the bottom part of that Polaroid frame. I've selected one here. It's got a heart and says the word this afterwards. So I'm going to run it through and let you see what that looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. So basically it's going to have the negative of the word this with a heart. Super, super cute. And by the way, that frame is stitched all around the edge as well. Now I'm going to continue with this same die set, but I'm going to pull myself out a piece of this lined paper from this 6x8 paper pad from Simple Stories, and I'm going to cut out a planner page. So I'm going to cut it out. This one has the tab on the side there. You'll see it in a minute. And I'm going to run this through, and now what you're going to see is I have nice layers to add into my already layered design. So again, a great way to step up a layered look. That frame there isn't really a layer, it's more or less going to be an embellishment. So now what you see me doing is slipping in these large die cuts in my layered design. So you can kind of see my vertical strip of photos, which is a simple page design, is really stepped up now. And I did work with the layers to add that Viewmaster wheel along with the planner page. So now what I'm going to do is just start adhering all of these pieces to the page. So I really sped this up, but I already showed you how I was going to place them. And again, you'll notice that the pieces are all different sizes. So it just adds visual interest to this layout. So I'm going to adhere all of this down, including the photos, except for that frame, because I am going to want to add a photo to that frame. You're going to notice as well, I back the frame with cardstock because I do plan to pop this up on foam adhesive. And also I am going to back the word this. So underneath the photo, you're going to notice I put this scrap of paper. It's one of the papers I'm using on the page already, and what that's going to do is just show through the word this and the heart, and it just makes a nice little embellishment. This one here will be popped up on foam adhesive, and it's going to be a main part of an embellishment cluster. So you can see I have all of my embellishing around me. I did add foam adhesive behind that photo. I'm showing you the alphas there. Those are from Heidi Swap. I have my title on wax paper. It's What a View. And also I have chipboard, I have stickers. Those are from the Fernwood collection. I have ephemera pieces and cut apart sheets from a piece of paper from this collection. And it's all around me, and I'm going to start playing with it. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, because my journaling box is already there, so usually when I set up my page with the page pieces along with the photos, the next thing I do is establish a spot for my journaling, which is already there, and my title. So I decide to place the title in the top right because I do want to reserve the top left, that white area there, just as a resting spot to the eye, because there is a lot going on this page with 4 photos and all of these layers. And now what I'm going to do is just add a few embellishments, a few layers, once again within the layers in the top right by the title and down in the bottom left around that journaling box. So you can see by the journaling box I slipped in a tag that was from a cut apart sheet. In the top right I slipped in a piece of ephemera, kind of a long narrow piece. Both of those have kind of a pale aqua blue, so that's going to help me with my embellishment design here. Basically later on you're going to see it establishes a visual triangle, but I'm not there yet. I do have some stickers and chipboard pieces, not many of them, but I put a few of them on wax paper, and what I'm doing is just auditioning them in a few different spots. I don't end up adding a lot more to this. I do add a bit more to it just to finish it, and you're going to see at the end I do switch things up a bit. But essentially I've got a lot going on here, like I mentioned, with all of these photos and all of these layers here. So once again, I can't decide, and I'm often like this at this point in the process. I know I want to add more to it, but with all of these loose pieces around my page, I can't think, so I just have to start adhering. So that's what you see me doing now. I'm adhering the pieces that I know. I know the tag, I know the ephemera piece in the top right, I know I want my title there, and I also know I want that photo popped up in the bottom left. So I'm doing that now. And then when I started with the title, I stopped, continued. I did add some extra adhesive to that title simply because chipboard doesn't adhere that well. So it's always a good idea to add extra adhesive. I'm adding a little piece of chipboard underneath that title just so that it stands out a little bit more there. I'm adding a little enamel dot, that's from Pink Fresh Studio, in that tag in the bottom. I'm kind of playing around with a little banner thing up on that photo there. That actually ends up getting removed at the very end here, but I'm pretty much close to the end, except I do want to stamp in the tab of that planner page. So I'm showing you a stamp set that I use often from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's called Vacay Phrases, and I'm stamping simply the words happy place in that tab. So I'm really happy with that. I'm pretty much at the end here. And basically off camera, I did my journaling, and I did switch up a few embellishments. I changed the chipboard piece that was beneath the title for another one, and then I removed the banner that was on the Polaroid photo. Instead, I added a chipboard tab just above the journaling box, and this created a visual triangle with the chipboard by the title and the tag at the bottom left. That's pretty much it. So basically, I stepped up this vertical design by simply adding paper layers, and I stepped up the paper layers by adding a few large die cut pieces to these layers. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And the same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Make sure you head on over to the Facebook group to check out the online prop and check out the shop as well. The links are listed below. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.